La la cha 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 la li la la. Buongiorno, 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 buongiorno. I am Elena Johnson. Welcome to Mia Cucina. Mia Cucina means my kitchen. And today I have something wonderful for us. I am going to be talking about green onion and leeks. Green onions and leeks are full of vitamins and potassium and antioxidants, and they have all these wonderful, wonderful things for your body, for yourself. And I am so happy to announce that my husband is off his diabetes medication because of healthy eating. So you can heal yourself and you can get off medication as long as you know what you're putting into your body. All right, so what I'm going to show you is it's this very easy meal that it doesn't cost a lot, and pretty much you have all of these already in your pantry. And it's going to be like a green onion leeks pancake with this amazing, delicious dipping sauce, and it's going to be amazing and delicious and yum. All right, so what we are going to be needing is these are my wonderful green onions that I grow myself. Remember, when you bring your green onions, you just cut the bottom and you just put it in some organic soil and they grow. So I have, I'm going to be using a lot of my own green onions over here that I have here, and I'm going to get it out of the water. I am going to be using one leek, and what I did is when you get your leek, okay, I cut this part of the leek, all right, and then this, I am going to see what I can do with this. I know that we're supposed to discard this part, but I want to see what I can create with that, but that's later on. Okay, so now, let me put that away. So now what I've done is I have washed all my leeks very well. My green onions, although you know they are grown in organic soil, you always need to wash and clean your products. So I have one, the leek, some of the green onions. I'm going to be utilizing one egg, okay? I'm going to be utilizing one garlic. If you don't have these herbs and you have dry herbs, you can use dry herbs. But I'm going to be using some fresh oregano from my garden, some fresh thyme from it's just one little sprig of thyme, sprig of oregano. Okay, I'm also going to be utilizing some dry oregano. Again, if you don't have these and you have them in dry, use them dry. So I'm going to be using dry oregano, some black pepper, some salt, granulated garlic, more like, we need more garlic. And so the first thing that I want to do, and then I am going to be using all-purpose baking flour. I am using gluten-free. I'm going to be using 1 cup. If you're going to be using regular flour, it's about 1.5 cups, okay? So I'm going to be using gluten-free. I'm very sensitive to gluten, and sometimes I have gluten and then I blow up, and I don't like it to be blowy, eh? I am already as blowy as I can be. I don't need to be no more blowy. So I'm going to be using a cup of this. I'm also going to be using some baking powder. I'm also going to be using some very fine sugar. I am using Casper refined sugar. I buy it in bulk, which is a lot less expensive for me. So this is what works for me. This is what I'm going to be using, because I'm going to be making like a bigger pancake today. And then, of course, the dipping sauce. So what I want to do is I want to keep one of my green onions because it's going to go into my dipping sauce. Now, I'm going to take you step by step, so then that way you don't get confused, because you can get confused. I can get confused. And I'm using no milk products. I'm just going to be using pure water. And I'm going to be using the water for my pancake, as for my savory pancake, as well as I will be using my water for my dipping sauce. And wait till you have this dipping sauce. It's amazing. It's delicious. All right, so I am keeping one aside. I already put it aside over here. So what I want to do is, with all home green onions, the really cool thing about when you're growing your own green onions is they, sometimes they have their own little caps, the little caps, and all you got to do is just kind of remove those little caps. And these are organic green onions, and the coolest thing is when you open a green onion, there are seeds in them. So what I'm doing is I'm just double checking to make sure there's no other things that, you know, that I need to remove from there. So I'm just going to get my bowl like so, and I'm just going to start dropping. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I am going to slice. I'll put them all together like so. Make sure that your knife is very, very sharp. If you're not going to use one of these, by all means, guys, you know what? Use one of these. Okay, so it makes it a lot easier when you're cutting, because this is designed for vegetables. So what I want to do is I just want to slice, okay, my green onions. This is pretty much, it's going to have green onions and just the wonderful things that I've shown you. I do see there's just a little something, you know, when you're working with your stuff from your own garden, make sure that you remove all the little things that they don't need to be there, you know. So now what I want to do here is I want to take my scraper. I'm just going to put that to the side because they're all going to go into this, into the bowl. And you know, and since we're going to have this for lunch, I have made this for dinner. And my husband loves this, and especially he really loves the dipping sauce. So what I'm doing with the leeks is I am just going to slice the leeks, okay? So when you have the leeks, I would just take my leeks. Let me move this so you can see what I'm doing, so I can show you. Is you're going to go in here like so, okay, like so. And this is such a, you know, this is a very healthy. Even though we are going to be utilizing a cast iron skillet, so what I want to do is I want to get my cast iron skillet, I want to start heating my cast iron skillet up. So I'm just going to put it, if you have the number things, I'm going to put it in number 4. Because I want that to be ready for when I put my pancake in there. And then I'm going to show you how I am going to plate it. So you can see, you know, nice and thin. I'm making them really thin because, you know, you don't want to chomp into a big, huge onion, although onions are absolutely delicious. And as I am doing this, I have a list over here that I wrote down all the benefits. Actually, this is one of my little book that I take when I used to teach healthy cooking. Although, you know, I'm not a chef. This is from my own life experience. And I say that, guys, I am not a chef. Although people call me chef, I am a chef in my own mind. Maybe I might have been a chef in a previous life. I believe in reincarnation, you know. So maybe it might have been. Maybe that's the reason why I love food so much. And I think food is beautiful. And, you know, who created it? You know, God created all this beautiful food. So then I'm going to take my garlic, okay. And I'm just going to smash it. Oh, these onions are starting to make me cry. I have a wet paper towel, so I'm just going to put it over that because then that will help me. Because I don't want to cry in front of you. My makeup is going to run all over the place, and then I have to go find it. I'm just going to rinse my knife real quick from that onion. Just as little as that. Man, my eyes are sensitive to onions. That's what it is. Okay, what you want to do is, you know, you want to bring this, you know, smush this really good. Smush it really, really, really good, okay? And then just go in and just kind of chop it up. Very simple. Oh, boy, my eyes are burning now. I tell you, you know, the onion gets me. Wait a minute, let me grab a napkin. I'm so sorry. Intermission for the cook that's crying because of the onion. All right, so now, you know, it happens. That's life. You know, if you don't cry, I mean, some people are not sensitive to onion, and obviously, I became sensitive to onion, you know? All right, so now that I have this bowl, and I already cut up these guys, it's just very simple transaction, guys. Our lunch is going to be done in a minute or so. Well, not in a minute or so, because we got to cook this, okay? So now we have our green onions in here. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, see that? These, I should have cut them first, but I didn't. You know, that's how life is. You know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. We have to roll with the punches. You know, we've been rolling with the punches now for 6-7 months now. Okay, well, 3 or 4 months. I don't know. I lose track of time. All right, so now that I have this right here, remember, this is, we have our wonderful leeks, our wonderful green onion, and wonderful garlic. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, so now what we are going to do is I'm going to take my egg, and I am just going to cut my egg, and these are from the farm. So I always like to cut it. I always like to smell it. Smells good, wonderful. Don't throw these away, because these guys, my tears are coming down from the onion, guys, because these guys, you can, I grind them and I put them in my dirt, and that's how everything grows beautifully in my house. Okay, so now I'm going to take one that and put it in a little bowl that I have in here. All right, super easy. So far, so good. Right, guys? All right. Woohoo! We're doing good. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to take my egg to the side right now. I want to bring your attention to my oregano. I'm just going to, take it from the top to the bottom. I'm going to use my thyme. Time after time. I love to sing. I love music. I love everything. Music is so good for us. It can excite us. It can calm us, depending on what kind of music we're listening to. And right now, what I'm just doing is I'm just doing a very roughly chop, just with the oregano and the thyme. Okay, and I'm just going to put it all in here. It's all going to be all in here. I know it's kind of daunting, everything, but trust me, it's no big deal. It doesn't have to be hard. So I'm going to be using probably about a good teaspoon of black pepper. Boom, that takes care of that. I'm going to be using a teaspoon. Oh, I have it here. Look at this. So I'm going to be helping you guys out by measuring. I'm going to use a teaspoon of granulated garlic. If you like more garlic, use more garlic. Garlic is, it's wonderful for you. It's an antioxidant. And I always tell you about all the good things about, what we're eating. I want you to know what you're eating and what it does for you. Okay, and then a little pinch of salt. We don't use a lot of salt, and my husband used to have high blood pressure, and now his blood pressure, it's normal. Okay? If you don't believe me, maybe I can try to get him to come out here, but my husband, he's a more Chinese working. All right, so now that we have used all of that, now I have this wonderful thing right here. What I want to do is, I kind of had another bowl. I will be right back. Let me grab a bowl. I forget about things like that sometimes. All right, so now I have this bowl, and I am going to add my egg into that. All right, I'm not sure how much water I'm going to use. Okay, because I want to start low, and then I want to add more. Because you can't take away if you add more. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little shibidi, shibidi. And then to this, I am probably just going to start with 1 tablespoon of water. Just 1 tablespoon of water right in there, right into the egg. Put that to the side. Okay. Okay, so now we have our baking powder. Our baking powder. We have a cup of our all organic, gluten-free, if you're not using all organic, and a cup and a half of regular flour, and then sugar. So what I want to do is, again, me and my bowls, I forget the bowls. I'm going to get another bowl. You don't have to get so many bowls, but, it makes it a lot easier that way. So what I want to do is I want to take my 1 cup. You don't have to sift it. You don't have to do all that work. Okay, I'm going to get my 1 cup. I want to make sure I get my 1 cup because, these guys can carry into the evening. Okay, so I got my 1 cup. Let me move that out of the way. So I'm done with that. I'm going to bring here to sugar. And I am going to get I'm going to use a half a teaspoon. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. A 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And I am going to use a half a teaspoon of baking powder. It doesn't have to be precise. All right. So I'm just going to kind of whoosh it around, whoosh it around. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add my egg to this. I have not added yet, okay, all of the wonderful mixtures that we have here. And all of this it's already so seasoned, so I don't have to season any of this. So make sure you get your egg in your water, okay, get that done with that, put that in the sink. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start working with a fork. Get yourself a nice big fork, because, you know, I can use this, but I wanna see, okay, I wanna see where this is gonna take me. All right, see what I'm doing here? I wanna see where this is gonna take me. And as you can see, I am going to be needing some more water. All right, 1, 2 more tablespoons, and we're gonna continue to work it. Because, you know, I don't want, you know, I don't want to add a lot until I am ready. And then we're going to add some more. Now I added 5 tablespoons of water so far to 1 cup of gluten-free all-purpose bacon flour. Okay? So now I'm starting to make this beautiful paste. You see that? You see what I'm doing, guys? You see this? All right. Like I said, everything else is in here. So what I'm doing, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something like that, but I am going to add another tablespoon, which is it's a total of 6 tablespoons, okay, to the 1 cup. And a half teaspoon of the bacon powder in here, and a little bit of sugar. All right, so now when you get to this consistency, you see the consistency? You see that, guys? All right, so now what I want to do is with my hands, I'm just going to mix everything together in here like so, because I want everybody to marry each other. Okay, grab yourself a spatula, one of these guys, because I want to get everybody in here. See what I'm doing, guys? All right, just all in here. I'm going to use right here, and make sure that you get everything. You know, I have little hands, so everything to me is so big, you know. So now you want to mix it all in here like so. Okay, make sure you get everybody, because, you know, I want to make sure that I get enough, because, you know, this is going to be lunch and it may carry for dinner. Okay, so now I'm done with that. Get that out of the way, and I am just going to mix this together like so. See what it looks like, guys? Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful, okay? So we're going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to let this kind of hang out a little bit. Because, you know, I am going to, I got my cast iron skillet rocking and rolling over here, because, you know, we haven't done the dipping sauce yet, okay? So what I want to do is I just want to take a spoon like so, a spoon like that, okay? And then I'm going to bring this over here. And what I'm going to be using with this is I'm going to be using a little bit of vegetable oil and a little bit of olive oil. So what I like to do is I like to mix together. All right, so I have a cupful here, and I'm going to just use a cupful. I'm just going to eye that, a cupful of that, and a cupful of my olive oil. Okay, so that's going to be my oils. And as you can see, I don't have much of this left, so to put the cup back is no big deal, okay? So don't stress yourself out over stuff like that. So now let me grab a little fork, because I want to mix this over here. So now I have olive oil in here and vegetable oil. And I'm going to move it right over here. And now my cast iron skillet is starting to smoke. And it's indicating to me that these guys are almost ready. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I am going to bring over here, tell you what I'm doing over here, and then we're going to come back over here to finish everything up, because there's all these things going on that I really want to show you, because this dipping sauce is delicious. So what you want to do is you want to grab a paper towel, okay? And what I'm going to do is I only have a number 4 over here, and I'm just going to dip the paper towel into that oil, okay? And I'm just going to put it right back in the oil. And then I am just going to take a nice big spoon, work with the spoon and the fork, and I'm just going to drop it. Just drop them by spoonfuls, okay? And don't touch them. Don't touch them. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these guys is I have 4 going on here. All right, let me show you. Let me bring you. We're going to go for a ride. All right, so what I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you that I have 4 of these guys. Let me see. Trying to get there. Can you guys see it? All right, all right, all right. My phone doesn't like the heat. Okay, so I have them over here. So I'm going to keep you over here so you guys can see this. So then what I do is, so nothing sticks, is I take the same oil and I rub it in my spatula so I can get underneath there and I can turn these guys over like so. And you want them small because this, you know, you're going to have a dipping sauce with this. You see how easy that is? Very simple. And then get yourself a plate because you're going to be putting it on the plate. Okay? So even if it sticks, don't worry about it. Just don't touch them. Because the minute you touch them, it's going to stick. Okay, let me see. I want to get you here closer. Right here. So like I said, you know, don't. So now, as you can see, these guys, they cook very quickly. All right, very, very quickly. You know, you just gotta brown them a little bit. And then what I do is I just remove them. Okay, and just remove them, just put them in a little plate. Oh, that guy just came out, fell down. I am just putting it in a plate. That's what I am doing. All right, guys. Like I said, this guy's is going to cook quickly. And then I'm going to show you the dipping sauce. So now we do this again. You know, be careful, don't burn your hands. You know, I've done this a lot. You may want to get one of those tongs so you don't do that. So what you're doing is you're just using, just like so. Okay, and I don't have it very high. Okay, I don't have it very high. And I like to use 4 at a time. I don't know if I can add another one there, but I don't want to crowd anything. And again, you know, I only have it on number 4 over here just because I wanted to show that to you. And you know, don't worry about the onions do cook. And it has a wonderful flavor. And when you break it, see, when you break it, it looks like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to taste one. Oh, they're so good. Very so simple. But the dipping sauce is what makes everything delicious. Okay, so as you can see, it only takes a few minutes, and so now just turn these guys over like so. They have such a lovely, lovely oniony flavor. You know, and this does not cost a lot. So, you know, if you're on a budget, this is really, really good. And I even added, you know, meats to this, but I want to keep it vegetarian. I mean, there are vegetarians that eat eggs. Okay, so as you can see, this is going really, really quickly. You know, make sure that it's all brown on both sides. It doesn't take a lot of time. All right, look at these guys. And again, these you want to serve with a dipping sauce. These are great for, you know, if you are having family, you know, somebody coming over at the last minute and, you know, you don't know what to do and you got to make something quick. My gosh, this always, you know, fits the bill. I always have green onions growing, and the more you plant the green onions, the less you have to go to the store and buy them. Okay, so I'm just going to take this guy back, this over here, this last guy. this last guy. He's gonna be a bigger guy. All right, now I'm done with this. While that is cooking, I'll rinse my hands. Very easy transaction. Okay, now this guy is probably done. So you see how fast and easy? I mean, and you know, and we already have all of these, which is just gonna be lunch for my husband and I, and then I'm gonna show you how I serve it. So then you know how to serve it. And you know, and you can make them fancier, you know, so I mean, it's just however, what's going on in your life. You know, if you're having a party or what's going on in your life. And right now, you know, we cannot do a lot of parties, but if we get together with familia, it's a wonderful thing. Familia is family. And as you can see, I only have it at a very low heat. And it did not take a lot of ingredients, okay? So I'm just gonna get this guy going over there. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut this off because I'm gonna bring these guys, I'm gonna cover these guys first of all so I can keep them warm. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a little bit of foil because these also are really good in room temperature, but I want to make the dipping sauce. And you see, but you know, by the time I cut the paper, they are done. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. And you may like this, you may not like this. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to cover this up. I am going to bring you up again. And now we're going to go for another ride. Because now what I want to do is I want to bring you over here because I want to show you the dipping sauce. Okay? So now we have these wonderful little leeks and green onions, little lunch pancakes, savory pancakes. Cover them up because you know we're going to be using this. Let me bring myself down a little bit so you guys can see me of what I'm going to do for the dipping sauce. Because the dipping sauce is delicious. And the dipping sauce, I don't remember where I learned the dipping sauce. So the dipping sauce is going to have 2 tablespoons. We're going to be using the soy sauce. We're going to be using the spezie. We're going to be using a toasted sesame oil. We're going to be using some honey. And we're going to also be using some rice vinegar. And we're also going to be utilizing some water. So what I want to do first is I want to do 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So what I want to do is I want to get, I'm using low sodium soy sauce. I got to get this thing off. Teeth are always good for that. And then I can just wash this little thing. Okay. So I'm using 2 tablespoons, 1 and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And I am looking for my sliced onion. I'll slice it in a minute. Then I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of water. 1 tablespoon of water. So far, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of water. We're going to be slicing this guy that's going to go in here. We're going to be using 1 teaspoon of honey. I am going to eye my honey. Honey's got a lot of good, wonderful healing things that I will get into that on another time that I will talk about honey. And then on the rice vinegar, we're going to be using 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. Let me grab my glasses because I can't see anything without my glasses. Okay, 2 teaspoons. Where's my teaspoon? Here's my teaspoon. And we're going to be using 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. It's almost like an Asian thing. Rice vinegar, okay? Asian flavors is what I meant to say. Okay, so then now the toasted sesame oil is 1 teaspoon. And I already have my teaspoon right here. This is my sesame oil. And please, when you get sesame oil, get toasted sesame oil. And I am using organic toasted sesame oil, unrefined. And that's what I'm using. And then the very simple thing, guys, is you're gonna take a little bit of these spedsy things, okay? And let me move this out of the way because I'm done with that. Before I get to my spedzies, I just wanna slice my green onions. Okay, slice my green onions like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. I know I'm going really fast. And because my husband is hungry and it's lunchtime It's time to eat. So I'm just going to use some of that in there. And so I'm going to use this rest of them because that's all I have left for a decoration, because you know I like to make things pretty. And then what we do is we just take a little few of these, okay? Put these on the side. All right, so now we have this beautiful. And make sure you mix it up really good because you know you still have the honey and you want to get all the benefits of the honey. All right, let me tell you what the leeks are high on vitamin C. Green onions are high on potassium, antioxidants. It reduces the risk of cancer. It's a natural remedy for colds. It has fiber, vitamins B6, potassium. It's good for eye disease, skin wrinkles. Gotta stay young, no? Coronary disease, vitamin C, and a lot of the same thing is what leeks have. And see, you guys did not know that. So now you have this wonderful, wonderful sauce. And you know what? I want to taste it. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's delicious. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to show you how I am going to serve it. So what I'm going to do is get your little bowl over here, and I am just going to, my husband absolutely loves cucumbers, and I always like to have something fresh. Again, cucumbers don't have to be expensive. This is really not an expensive, you know, lunch or dinner. You know, you have these items in your home. Most of you do, and it's very, very healthy and very good for you. And cucumbers are very, very healthy. So what I want to do is I want to show you how I'm going to plate this guy. So I'm just going to take this little bit off, but get rid of this part right here. And then what I want to do is I want to do it at an angle. Because it makes it so much prettier that way. You know, we got to make it pretty. All right. Woohoo! That looks so good. Already, I haven't done anything yet. Okay, so we want to do it like this because, you know, I like to serve it with cucumber because it's refreshing. So then what I do is I take my plate, you know, you can have a round plate. And I know, guys, that, you know, that it's not going to be like this all the time. You know, that you're not going to have, you may have the time, you may not have the time to make things pretty. But this is something that you could do, you know, I think I'll just put them on the sides. I think the sides will look a lot prettier. I am not I don't know how to make everything look so pretty, but I have a friend of mine, and I hope that she's watching, and her name is Delia, and she's amazing. She can make a plate look beautiful, and really, she should be a stylist. Somebody should really hire her because she makes everything so pretty and so beautiful. Okay, so now I have this over here. So what I want to do is I want to take, you know, some of this beautiful sauce that I have over here, put it in a white little, you know, just put it in a nice little plate like so. Because, you know, we got to have dipping, and you can dip, you know. So then what I will take, what I will do with these guys, let me move the dish. Slowly move the dish so I don't spill anything. And then what I want to do to these guys, they're still nice and warm. It's just I cut them in half. Cut them in half. And you could, you know, put them like so, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Because, like, you know, when I have, you know, when I can have guests again, I always like to, you know, depending on what I'm cooking, I always like to have something special, something different that they can munch on, you know, while we're getting ready for dinner. So this is a really good way, very different way. So I am going to do it on this side. If my friend Delia was here, boy, she would make this look Beautiful, but I try. You know, people tell me that I make pretty things, and I try. So, you know, I'm not going to throw this guy away, because this guy, you know, he's a cucumber and he's doing good. Okay, so now what I like to do is I like to put a few of these green onions over here, like this, like that. And there you have it, guys. There you have it. This is the wonderful, delicious green onion with Leek's pancake with a beautiful dipping sauce with a slice of cucumbers. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I am Elena Jones. I bring you lots of beautiful dishes. I bring you healthy dishes, and I tell you what they do for you. Thank you very much for joining me. Be safe, be kind, be loving. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao, belly. Ciao, ciao. And enjoy this beautiful yum. Because guess what? We're going to enjoy that right now. Ciao, ciao.